belly fat. It looks so bad. Sometimes I used to forget what gender I was whenever I looked down. And just turns out after losing all that weight, my knob's just tiny anyway, so there wasn't much to look at in the first place. And the look that made me feel so self-conscious that if I had a decision to pick between saving one of my family members from a burning building or making sure to fix my shirt so my belly wasn't hanging out, I'll just make sure to buy them the best coffin possible. But during my weight loss, I tried a range of ab exercises, from crunches that made me look like a demented whale out of water, to doing planks that were about as straight as Elton John. I'd fallen into the trap believing that you could spot reduce fat. But why wouldn't I? There was YouTube videos everywhere saying how you could, and also foods and drinks that you could have that would burn fat in certain areas. But unfortunately, the reality of this is the people spouting this rubbish are about as honest as the people that said that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Unfortunately, the reality is you can't target certain areas of the body where you're going to lose fat. It will come down to your genetics. You might lose fat in your chest, your arms, your legs, your back. It could be absolutely anywhere. And in fact, belly fat might be the last thing to go, especially for men, because this is where we store most of our fat is in our stomach, whereas women, it might be more in their thighs. And to give ourselves the best chance possible of losing belly fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit, eating less calories than what we burn on a daily basis. And by doing this, we're going to start losing fat all over our bodies, and the longer we're more patient with it, we will start to see results in the areas we really want. So don't waste your time doing ab exercises. As I said, I tried plenty myself. I tried looking like Peter Andre, but wound up with a worse hairline than Premier League official Peter Banks, and having to shave all my hair off. And instead, do some cardio. A 10-minute cardio session is going to get you a lot closer to abs than what a 10-minute ab session is going to get you. This is because you're going to be burning so many more calories during that 10-minute cardio session compared to doing abs. And with those calories, you're going to be more in a calorie deficit, making you lose weight. And I think this obsession with doing ab exercises, it sort of falls into this whole toning myth. You see videos online like 10-minute routine to the most perfectly toned arms, which unfortunately is bollocks. The reality is, and how it actually works is, if I train my biceps, for example, I wouldn't be spot reducing the fat around my bicep. I'd be losing fat from being in a calorie deficit and losing fat all over my body, including my bicep. But the more I train that muscle, the bigger it's going to look and the more defined it's going to look once the fat around it has been lost. Speaking of weightlifting, a way for your core to be engaged without completely isolating it with ab exercises is by doing weightlifting movements. An example would be an overhead press, because standing there, your core is engaged just by keeping you in that fixed position. Another example would be a squat, because once again, it's keeping you nice and fixed in that position the whole way. So there is ways of actually hitting your abs without isolating them. Another myth I'll cover is this whole belly fat burning foods and drinks, which unfortunately is impossible. It's just said by people trying to spout rubbish, probably trying to sell you a product. But if you think about it realistically like this, if there was a way to drink or eat something that would burn your insides, it'd probably be in the possession of Kim Jong-un, who uses it to torture people who obey his commands. But what if you are someone who has lost a lot of weight and has been left with quite a lot of loose skin to deal with? Will doing ab exercises actually impact the look of the skin? Will it make it go in? Will it make it look more aesthetic? Well, I've actually been doing this myself personally for about a year now. I've been training my abs 2 times a week, progressively overloading them and trying to make them stronger. And I'll show a picture of what it looked like around about August this time last year to what it looks like now. I wouldn't say there's much of a difference visually, but in terms of the actual core strength I do have now, it's much more improved than when I first started. So in conclusion, to round this video off, there's unfortunately no way to spot reduce fat. You just have to remain consistent and patient. And just because you're maybe not seeing the results you're wanting to see straight away, doesn't mean you should start doing endless amounts of cardio, slash your calories, because when you do that, more chance of you putting that weight back on. You just have to remain consistent and patient, and eventually you will get to the goal you wanted.